For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God hath showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. This verse teaches that just by looking at the natural world, we can understand that God exists. The fact that we are on a planet in a seemingly infinite universe with impressive stars, planets, and galaxies, yet we are the only planet with sentient life, should make almost anyone pause and think there's something special about us. Most people of the world believe God exists, and a lot of those people believe God created the world. Granted, not all these people believe in the God of the Bible, but people have a sense that an almighty God did it. It goes back to an old Watchmaker argument. So, the argument goes, if you were just kind of strolling through the forest and you saw a watch laying down on the ground, you wouldn't assume that nature put that together by random accident. You would assume that this was created by a person, even if you have never met the person or knew what it took for a watch to be created. The intuition is this is a created product of a person with a creative mind. When you consider the complexity of creation, a lot of people apply this to if you saw a watch in the forest. Even a left-leaning website like BuzzFeed has an article that talks about facts that will remind you about how complex the universe is. I'm going to read a few of those. One of their facts is the Earth is the 5th largest planet, and yet 1.3 million Earths could fit inside the sun. This BuzzFeed article also says the Milky Way, the galaxy in which we live in, is so big that even at the speed of light, it would take 100,000 years to travel across it. And this is something else that scientists talk about. The planets, the sun, and all the galaxies they think only make up 5% of the universe. Another 27% of the universe is made up of what they call dark matter, and the remaining 68% is made up of dark energy that scientists don't know that much about. Well, one thing scientists do not know that they comment on in this article is that the number of stars in existence is completely unknown. Speaking of Jupiter, it says, one of Jupiter's storms, the Great Red Spot, that you probably can recall from memory just by looking at different posters and stuff throughout your life. This spot is so big that the entire Earth could fit into it. Now, I think most people would agree, scientists or not, that the universe is really complex. You can just get that sense by looking at it. But what if we consider something that is way smaller, like the human body? Well, once again, not a Christian website, but an article from Newsweek talks about mind-blowing facts about your body. Here's some of those facts. One of them is your eye being the fastest muscle. It says, Sharon Copeland, an optician at Feel Good Contact, said the fastest moving muscle in the human body is the orbicularis oculi, capable of contracting in less than 1 100th of a second. She said, a blink typically can last 100 to 150 milliseconds. Did you know that you blink more when talking and less when you are reading? This is why you get tired when reading. The eye is the fastest muscle in your body, which is why we say when something happens quickly, in the blink of an eye. What about the fact that we have 100,000 miles of blood vessels in our body? Dr. Foster said This includes veins, arteries, and communicating little capillaries that move between both. It seems like an unrealistic number, but if you imagine every single muscle, organ, bit of skin, or nerve needs its own way of getting blood and taking it away, it's not surprising how much plumbing we need. Well, how about this fact? And I actually fall into this one because it says only 2% of humans have green eyes. Copeland said, that's right, only 2% of the population have green eyes. The largest concentration of green-eyed peoples is in Ireland, Scotland, and Northern Europe. And that makes sense for me because my ancestry is in that area. All races, including Asian, African, Caucasian, Pacific Islanders, Arabic, Hispanic, and the indigenous peoples of the Americas, can have green eyes. All babies are born with blue or brown eyes. Green eyes can take between 6 months and 3 years to appear in children. Another fact is about your skin being the largest organ. It says that Dr. Foster said the skin accounts for about 15% of our body weight, and its importance is massively underappreciated. It keeps everything on the inside from coming out, but it also helps keep us at the right temperature, helps us with touch and sensation, allows us to move without restriction, not too tight or too loose, heals and regenerates constantly, and much more. The last fact I want to share from this article is that you're taller in the morning. Dr. Foster said, if you ever look in the mirror in the morning, your stomach is flatter and clothes then to hang better. Due to gravity, over the daytime, our cartilage compresses to make us slightly shorter and our organs tend to settle. Now you can search online and read these articles for yourself. And of course, with science and science articles, things and knowledge can change from time to time. But realistically, we can say there is a lot of information in these articles that is correct, that has been tried and tested throughout time. And with that said, it's no shocking revelation that space and the human body itself, something much smaller, is incredibly complicated. What about a quick little fact that each human body has trillions, not billions or millions, but trillions of cells inside of you, and one cell is super complicated. There's trillions in each human body, and there's 8 billion people in the world. Because of that, is it any wonder why most people definitely believe or strongly consider the possibility of God?